So one of the things I'm going to go over today, we're going to go over a position that is the pendulum, is when we pendulum versus when we bump. So the basic idea of the pendulum movement is to free our shoulders, and usually it's freeing our shoulders to escape our arm. Our arm has become like a control point, right? Whereas when we bump because we want to create space at the hip. That's what I'm kind of theorizing on, because why do we sometimes do the bump versus why are we doing the pendulum? And I think it's basically where the connection is. So for now, we're going to be working on the hypothesis that if basically my shoulder or a shoulder is being pinned, I'm being usually pendulum because my hips are free, the weight's in my shoulders, versus and I want to escape my arm. Seems to be a kind of common theme with when we pendulum. Versus if I want to try and get underhooks or whatever, I want to create space at the hip rather than at the shoulder line. I'm gonna bump, right? So that's that bit. So we're going to work on the broken scarf hold today, or soul steel, whatever you want to call it. But it's where my hands have got split. So if Pete has me in the head and arm, but also I've maybe lost this grip. He's managed to get his elbow inside my wrist, so I can't really connect my hands efficiently. Okay. So when this gets broken and my arm is anywhere between his legs, the first thing I want to do is turn my thumb down. So for Pete to do most of the submissions that he needs my thumb that way, pointing up like an arm, right? And then he could start hyperextending my elbow, using his leg. Yep. This one here. All of it is basically thumb up to begin with. So I want to try and turn this thumb down to begin. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is, obviously I can connect my shoulder, turn my chin, right? So these are all sort of little bits that I can do. So I have some shoulder connection now. And if I can, I'll put my hand through on the bicep. Yeah. So this is another option with this. He may try and hide that down and keep his arm, back or whatever, but this is I'm connecting my shoulder, and I'll try and work that in. So the minute he starts trying to manipulate my wrist or anything to submit, this is now working. Because in order for him to get anywhere near my wrist, he has to, I think, open this. Does everyone see that? Yeah. So he starts opening this. Now I'm using this grip, right? And obviously he can break that grip and so on, but it's just going to be part of the game. And then I'm looking to use my pendulum to get this arm out. Does that make sense? So I'm turning the thumb down. Anytime he's going to the wrist, I'm gripping. Make sure this is the broken scarf. We're not talking about with the arms together. It's so much easier if my arms are together. I think it's much easier to buy time. But the minute I lose that grip, it's horrific. Right? And there are things people can do where, for example, you have like a conventional head and arm, and I've seen Henry show this as an entry actually. We're talking about it, where he's got like a crossface here on Pete. Pete looks to start trying to turn in and so on, and people are doing stuff like this. Right, now, you should always block the hips first, but that is another world. If I jump through on this, I'm never going to let this connect again. Does that make sense? He doesn't have an underhook. So the minute this happens, he's going to turn his thumb down. That's going to make it much harder for me. And this arm at the back is looking, the minute I get anywhere near his wrist to start manipulating his thumb, he's coming in. Now it's pendulum time. Yeah, let's give it a go.